Round 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft is officially open. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
How about them Brownies? Here we go with the 33rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Your Cleveland Browns select Carson Schlesinger, linebacker, UCLA.
So they do not go offense. They do not go Shedeur Sanders. They go Carson Schlesinger of UCLA.
He clearly, to me, is the best available off-the-ball linebacker, and after him, it drops off a cliff. So they must have looked at the board and said, if we need a linebacker, we need to do it right now. And this is a former walk-on who is a tackling machine. His instinct's exceptional. He's able to slip underneath blocks. Linemen aren't able to get to him because he sees it quickly and he's able to get underneath and get away from him. He's an outstanding blitzer. The play speed just jumps off the screen when you're watching him. Here's another example of those instincts that show up in coverage as well. So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah not being healthy, I think, factors into this, CD.
Here is Owen Daniels, a Wisconsin alum for the Texans.
Oh yeah, always feels like home coming back to Wisconsin. Houston, it's our time now. With the 34th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Jaden Higgins, wide receiver, Iowa State.
All right, so Nico Collins just got a new
look at his comp,
member
Rich,
of the wide receiver room, and lo and behold, that's a Nico Collins comp.
They have a type. Sometimes organizations like these same types of players. The size-speed combo, you pop on that Iowa State tape. Look, I watched him right after I watched Tet McMillan, and I did not think there was a lot of difference there. I think there's some things he actually does better than McMillan, who we saw go in the top 10 of this draft. He's got a different gear vertically down the field to separate for a big wideout. He's tough. He'll do the dirty work, working in the middle of the field. I love this fit. Good guy to learn from, a Nico Collins, who you remind me of.
The next rival has been chosen. The Tennessee Titans have traded the 35th pick to the Seattle Seahawks. With the 35th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Nick Emmanwori, DB, South Carolina.
So it's only fitting that a former member of the Legion of Boom would welcome in a guy who kind of looks like he could have played in the Legion of Boom.
No question. You see my comparison down there is Kyle Duggar, but if you think about the role in which to use him, Kyle Hamilton from Baltimore, where their head coach Mike McDaniel and that defense is very familiar how to use a player like this. When he's closer to the line of scrimmage, I think that's where he's most impactful. He can get underneath routes like you see right here. He can read and react. He sees it cleanly. He trusts it. He really shoots his gun and goes and makes plays. You want somebody that's reliable and physical in the alley? This is a guy who's 220 plus pounds who will get you on the ground. This is how the game is played right now. Quick perimeter passes. He's able to get to those quickly, get guys on the ground. You can blitz him, and now look at the talent that they're amassing here on this defense. It's going to be fun to watch him fit in.
And if you go back to pure Legion of Boom, that size and that look, that's Cam Chancellor by what you're looking
but much
at.
faster.
But much faster.
Yeah, much
but
faster.
I went back, and we talked about this during the Combine. The look of him is the look of those 1980 safeties, those Steve Atwaters, Dennis Smiths, Tim McDonald, Ronnie Lott swinging back, those types of guys.
All right, I found a young Browns fan, Jack Thomas, in the crowd. It's going to give
That's
me a
his
little
boy.
help here with the 36th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Your Cleveland Browns select
Quinshawn Judkins,
Ooh.
running back, Ohio State.
So they take one of the Buckeye running backs, and it's Quinshawn Judkins that's the choice of the Cleveland Browns. Daniel?
Yeah, more of the hammer. When you look at those two Ohio State backs, Travion Henderson going to get a little bit more in the pass game, a little bit more at the home runs. Judkins, to me, this is a player that reminded me a little bit of Sony Michel in terms of a guy who carried 221 pounds really well. He can do a lot of work between the tackles, just real quick, shifty back who gets his pads low to the ground, and those 220 pounds, he's a force. He's got excellent vision and feel, and watch him with the stiff arm right here. This gives you something that Nick Chubb did a lot of with the Cleveland Browns. They're going to love this. Joel, this Penn State game, he was Mariano Rivera. He was the closer in that ball game, the definition of a 4-minute back. Time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. We look at those athleticism scores for the running backs in this class. Joel, not a surprise, 2 Buckeyes there at the tippy top.
So here comes the Miami Dolphins pick. Alec Ingold, a Wisconsin Badger, coming up.
Let's go.
All right, we got a trade. We got a trade here. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded the 37th pick to the Miami Dolphins. With that being said, the 37th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jonah Savaianaya, offensive guard, Arizona. Let's go. All right, y'all.
And they listed him as a guard. He could play outside, could play inside. Mike Iupati is who he reminded me of coming out of college, that inside-outside versatility, big, strong, powerful men who can move. Like, he tested really, really well. He ran 4.95 in the 40, so he can really scoot. To me, you get him physical in the run game, but you don't lose all that movement if you want to get out to the perimeter, as the Dolphins like to do.
And so Alec Ingold just introduced a new teammate who's going to block for him. Pretty neat stuff right there. So the Dolphins just traded up and are now celebrating their newest Miami Dolphins.
The NFL and Special Olympics team up to provide opportunities for athletes of all ages and abilities to get active through unified flag football. This allows individuals with and without intellectual disabilities to play on the same team. Xavier, Ree, you got the stage.
With the 38th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select
Travion Henderson, running back, Ohio State.
Hey, that is a thumper coming to New England. Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. That's a very polysyllabic backfield. They are going to be running the football for the New England Patriots.
You see my comparison there at the bottom. Clinton Portis, think about how unbelievable he was, not just as a runner, but in pass protection, and someone who has the speed to hit home runs. How about this in the Rose Bowl? Once he gets to the corner, you can forget about it. He is absolutely gone. You want to use him in the pass game, not just in the screens as you see here. You can get him out in the route as a route runner. Here he is on a double move, a little sluggo, creates the separation. You get yourself a home run, but this is the good stuff. This is the put your feet up on the desk and enjoy. Watch him in pass protection. Joel, when you look at the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel head coach, Josh McDaniels, it's like going back in time.
Chicago, where you at? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, boy.
All right, simmer down.
Simmer down.
Simmer down. With the 39th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 2025 NFC North champions,
oh boy,
Chicago Bears,
oh boy,
select Luther Burden III, wide receiver, Missouri.
So they
congratulations, young man. Bear down.
So now we know why Antoine Randall's all fired up. Luther Burden III is adding his remarkable talents to a loaded young offense.
He's my best available receiver. I thought he had a chance to go in the bottom of the first round. A very loose, dynamic athlete. Look at the comparison on the bottom of the screen. Yep. DJ Moore. It's funny how this always happens. These guys end up being teammates, but it's because of what he does after the catch. I mean, with Loveland, who they've already got, now you get another one. You've got playmakers who can get vertical, but also guys who can make you miss and create after the catch. You see some incredible body control from him down the field. When you watch Missouri, the quarterback play was not always consistent this year. You see some route snap. The question was, okay, he doesn't have a variety of routes that he runs. I'm not worried about that. He's so loose and so fluid and so smooth. I think he's going to be fine as a route runner. But, man, they got a lot of weapons with this offense, CD.
Ryan Ramczyk, Wisconsin alum.
What's up, Green Bay? Who that nation, I see you.
All right, with the 40th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Louisville.
Wow. So they do co-quarterback. They go with the 25-year-old from Louisville by way of many other schools. His dream is being realized. His long wait is over, and it's Tyler Shuck as the choice for the third quarterback taken in this draft.
And Tyler Shuck might just walk right into a starting job with the New Orleans Saints. I think he's got a great opportunity to come in and win that position, get on the field, and be their week 1 starter. He's incredibly bright. I mean, he's got 4 degrees. He's been in college for quite some time.
But that means he put it to good use, because he could have gone to college and just gone to class and not worried about it. He made sure he got degrees. Give him credit.
Yeah, and look, durability is something that you discuss, and we'll get to that in a second. But here's the physical traits, the size, the arm strength. He can drive the football big time. Also shows the ability to take a little off, get some touch, layer the ball down the field, drop it in the bucket. He's a very talented thrower. You're going to get some pressure. You need to drop your arm angle. He's comfortable doing that with plenty of velocity to whip that ball out to the perimeter. And here's some of those other arm angles and body positions that you find yourself in. He's a gifted thrower. To me, more so than the age, it was the durability.
That's right.
That I struggle with and some other teams struggle with. But, guys, I'm telling you, I think he'll be their week 1 starter when they start the season.
And
well, a lot of kids went to school for 7 years.
And then you can hop in there. Sorry, Joel. You look at the bottom. Look at that nugget. The Saints have never drafted a quarterback that went in to start a playoff game for them. Never. They found Lee Evans, everybody.
Yeah. Mafia, where you at? Where they at? All right. We got a trade. The Chicago Bears have traded the 41st pick to the Buffalo Bills. And with the 41st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select T.J. Sanders, defensive tackle, South Carolina.
Wow. Yeah, that one surprised me. T.J. Sanders, one thing is you have with him is you have some inside pass rush. Charles, you talked about that edge rush. I think they're hoping Bosa's going to come in there and help them with that a little bit. Now you've got somebody with the versatility to move up and down the line of scrimmage, and they hope can be a disruptive force inside.
This is Sean McDermott saying, I want to help Ed Oliver. Right? He wants to get Ed Oliver more one-on-ones, more opportunity to pressure the pocket. He wants an extra running mate for him. Here's the guy, T.J. Sanders.
So the Buffalo Bills just moved up a bunch of spots to select the South Carolina defensive tackle and add him to this defense that they drafted Maxwell Hairston last night and then Joey Bosa. Hey, Daniel, if I told you T.J. Sanders would be the first Sanders drafted in this draft,
I don't think I would have bought that one. I don't think I would have bought that too.
So let's get the Jets selection. John Abraham coming out from the 2000 draft class of the Jets with the 2025 pick.
With the 42nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU.
Here we go.
So the Jets do go tight end after passing up opportunities in the last 2 drafts, and it is Jason Taylor's kid, the Dolphin great, playing for the Jets. Can't make it up.
How great is that? And look, they wanted a tackle and a tight end. I thought if they went tackle first, they might have a tight end like Mason Taylor there. If they went tight end first, I didn't think those tackles would be there. All the tackles are gone, and he's the last tight end in the top 50. They're staring at him. I love this player who is ready to step in right away as a polished, instinctive player. He jumped right on the field at LSU, caught a game winner against Alabama as a true freshman. Here he is. You see him stretching out down the seam. He's got outstanding hands. Just tracks the ball naturally. And it's not bad when you've got a Hall of Famer for a dad as well as a Hall of Famer for an uncle. My dad was a pastor. My uncle was a fireman. So I'm blaming them for why I wasn't a good football player.
Look at those pictures.
But both of them put out fires.
All right, the San Francisco 49ers are sending Julian Peterson from the 2000 draft class out to announce the 2025 pick.
Bay Area! Bay Area! Bang, bang, 49ers. With the 43rd pick in the 2025 class, the 49ers select
Alfred Collins, D tackle, Texas.
It's interesting to see how they're rebuilding this defense with the 49ers. Mykel Williams in the first, come back with Alfred Collins. Both these guys are dominant run defenders, not necessarily known for their pass rush. You see glimpses of it with Collins, but this is a massive man at almost 6'6", 330 pounds. CD, he's about holding that point of attack, a very physical player. You can kind of see where the Rams have gone with a physical approach. Yep. It looks like the Niners are trying to mirror that here.
And 1 year of pure starting ability, right, Joel? Because he was sitting back behind some big guys. Devondre Sweat was there. They had some players. Byron Murphy in Seattle. They had some players, but this guy, I think, is a big, physical, massive guy. And now you've got to go ahead and deal with him in the NFC West.
Hello, Wisconsin. With the 44th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Donovan Ezeraku, defensive end, Boston College.
This is a guy who can rush the passer.
You talk about production. We've talked production versus traits with the pass rusher. This is the production side. This is why he was my 30th overall player. I thought that's value where they got him there at pick 44. He's got a burst, and when he gets to the top of the rush, he can really bend and he can finish. That's one of the great separators with the pass rushers in this class. We've got guys who are disruptive, but they're not great finishers. This guy can do it, and he can do it, Joel, with a variety of pass rush moves. You see the spin move here. He has a great feel instinct-wise of where guys are playing him, how they set him, and he can adjust. There's a lot of early wins there as he joins this Dallas Cowboys group.
Just a 3-star recruit going to Boston College. 22nd ranked player in the recruiting class for Jeff Hafley, who was the head coach at Boston College, who is now here in Green Bay as the defensive coordinator for the Packers. So, you know, he's gotten what I feel like is great development there. And yeah, production, CD. 16.5 sacks has led the Power 4.
And you guys have made the point about these quarterbacks staying the extra year and getting that at that time and the production and coming to the NFL. It worked the same for Donovan Ezeraku. He had a dip the year before, said he was chasing sacks instead of playing the game the way he should.
That's Jonathan Taylor.
Wisconsin, what up? Man, it feels so good to be out here. Didn't have the opportunity in 2020 due to the circumstances, but I'm back in Wisconsin. It's always a good time out here, man. Huge shout out Salem City, man. This is a dream come true, but Colts Nation, let's find out who my new teammate is going to be, man. Let's go. Let's keep this train rolling on day 2. And with that being said, with the 45th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, my Indianapolis Colts select JT Tuimoloau, DN, Ohio State.
You talk about a guy that can get after it. And I know the production wasn't there all the time, but boy, he can wreck a game. You just go back a couple of years to what he was able to do against Penn State.
Michael Brockers is coming out from the 2000 draft to announce the latest Rams pick in 2025.
All right. What it do, Green Bay? So first and foremost, I just want to send a huge thank you to all the men and women who serve as our first responders and in our military. Secondly, I want to send a huge shout out to my son, Mikael. It's his birthday today. He's a draft baby. Let's go. Let's go.
From the 2012
All right,
draft,
let's get into this pick. With the 46th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Terrence Ferguson, tight end, Oregon University.
I saw him play live against Michigan, and I went down there in warm-ups, and I looked at Colston Loveland and Terrence Ferguson. They look like twins, almost the exact same size, which is ideal. And this is someone who can really build speed down the field and is excellent after the catch. Here he is once he's on the move with stiff arms, breaking tackles, running away from defenders. That almost 6'6" frame plays well in the red zone. Matthew Stafford is going to enjoy targeting him. And someone who had, along with Mason Taylor and Fannin, who I think will go before too long, all those tight ends had excellent weeks at the Senior Bowl.
CD, he was a coach's son, you know, and that translates on the field. 70% of his catches went for first downs or touchdowns. He knows where he's at on the field. He knows where the sticks are. Good instincts in the middle.
What's up, Green Bay?
Oh, P squared.
And with the 47th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Johnson, defensive back, Michigan.
All right.
Rise up, Red Sea.
Will Johnson having Patrick Peterson read out his name. A small consolation for having a very long wait, but if he's healthy, they just got a massive steal.
Well, this is an injury slide because if healthy, DJ, this guy was going to be
my 16th player.
Exactly, and he probably at a position like corner would have gone higher than that because it's always a position of need. Great instincts. He's tough on the edge. He's long. He reminds me of Patrick Surtain in that respect. He's played since day one at Michigan, and again, he just had a hard time getting on the field. When I saw him play against the elite players like Marvin Harrison, he would win those battles on the outside. He's a terrific player. He battled turf toe, and then he's got a knee condition that everybody was scared off from. And so there you go. Great value in the second. And Sam Klatt, my 11-year-old son who's a Cardinal fan, you love this pick, and congratulations to you, sir.
Yeah, he's fired up. Not only the ball skills, how about the length, which you can use at the line of scrimmage or when the ball's up in the air. This is what he does best to me, is when he can play top down, play off, be able to see through the receiver to the quarterback. He can anticipate. He can drive a big pick six here against USC. This is a Cardinals team that doesn't play a ton of man, 23rd in the league. He's going to be in a perfect scheme fit for his skill set.
Owen Daniels.
Trade alert, trade alert. Those boys in Houston are making moves right now. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded the 48th pick to the Houston Texans. And with the 48th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Ariante Ursary, tackle, Minnesota.
This is a massive human being here, outstanding size, and he's got an anchor. You want to try and rush through his chest, you're going to have problems. The issues show up when he goes against the more athletic guys who can redirect him, get him going one way, and have to turn back the other way. You'll see some flashes of his ability there, CD, but I think the inability to bend at times was concerning. This is, to me, a guy some people thought had a chance to go at the bottom of the first round. Other teams had third, fourth round grades on. So, to me, one of the more polarizing players in the draft.
Yeah, you got to think that Houston feels good about getting him where they did, but he doesn't have to be a starter right away.
Oh, nice lining in the jacket.
With the 49th pick in the draft of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker, South Carolina.
Is a high character player, someone who's an excellent leader, and someone who plays a physical brand of football. So you want to play downhill against the run, you're going to love what you see from Demetrius Knight Jr. At times he struggled in coverage. That reared its head a little bit at the Senior Bowl. But if you want the nerve center of your defense to be a communicator and to be a leader in the room when you're in there watching tape and getting guys on the same page, they rave about him in that regard, CD, at South Carolina.
The thing you have to keep in mind with the Cincinnati Bengal linebackers, Joel, as you know, Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt have played a lot of football over the last 5 years. Pratt has talked about being traded this offseason. They picked up Oren Burks in free agency. So here you get another young guy that they're trying to plug into their lineup.
Young-ish, 25. He has a wife, Jency.
It's a relative
children.
Oh, we got an MVP, former MVP coming out here. Sean Alexander with the pick. And multiple folks out there.
What up, 12s? Before we start, I gotta say happy birthday to my son, Jedediah. Everybody say happy birthday. With the 50th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Elijah Arroyo, tight end, Miami.
Arroyo.
Let's get it.
Real seam-stretching tight end. Ironically, the comparison is Noah Fant, and Noah Fant has been rumored to be potentially on the trade block, so he might actually be going to replace the guy I compared him to in Noah Fant. Big-time athletic mover. You see Cam Ward, the first overall pick, driving the ball to him down the field. On the move, getting vertical is what he does best. We saw that at the Senior Bowl as well. He can really, really run. Look at him separate. You'll see him on tape separating from corners, safeties. He runs like somebody who's much smaller. Look at this route. There's going to be a lot of options for him to hit home runs with Sam Darnold, get vertical down the seam, and you can get big plays. You don't just have to rely on your guys on the outside. He can get you chunk plays from inside.
Here comes Chuba Hubbard.
What's up, Wisconsin? Panthers fans, hey, keep pounding, man. Shout out to God, shout out Memorial Noman. The Denver Broncos have traded the 51st pick to the Carolina Panthers. With the 51st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Nick Scorton, DN, Texas A&M. Hey, let's go!
Guys, I love Nick Scorton's story. First of all, he grew up right there near Texas A&M in College Station, but he was lightly recruited, had some trouble in high school, had to go live with his best friend, so he ends up at Purdue, and he was highly productive at Purdue. This guy was all over the field. He went there and had a terrific couple of seasons, and so he decided to do what? Go back home. And he went back to Texas A&M. This guy was a monster as a sophomore. He had 10 sacks. He led the Big Ten, in sacks that year before going back to College Station. But again, great story, because you look at what he was in high school, the path wasn't that great. He got himself going, ended up actually signing over custody to that family that he was living with in high school. And I was actually hosting an award show with him, the Lot Impact Trophy. He impacted on the field, off the field. Really love Nick Scorton.
And this is a player the defensive line coaches around the NFL fell in love with in the workout circuit. Very strong and firm at the point of attack. He played at close to 280 pounds this year, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Here he is as a rusher. It's more power than finesse. Not going to wow you with his big-time get-off, but he's someone that can go through you. He can get you leaning because of that power and work off of it. But look at his body here. He's 257 pounds in this video, so he completely changed his body type from how they had him play to what he is right now.
And with the 52nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Olawufemi Oladejo out of UCLA, edge rusher.
Nicely done on the pronunciation. And Oladejo is someone who was an off-the-ball linebacker who moved to the edge later in the year, and that's when he got the attention of the NFL, because there was burst. I wrote juicy when I watched him, because you see all that explosiveness. Off the ball, you saw this range, this burst. Think of Jihad Campbell and what he did off the ball. He kind of looked, range-wise, speed-wise, he played with that style, but to me, he's more natural and comfortable when he's coming off the edge. Again, that carried from the end of the season into the postseason at the Senior Bowl against USC. Look at his ability to stay after it with his effort and pursuit, which never wavered when you watched him.
First pick of the night from UCLA on defense.
What's up, Green Bay? Yeah, I love the energy. Love the energy. And with that in mind, with the 53rd pick in the NFL 2025 Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Benjamin Morrison, DB, Notre Dame.
All right, Notre Dame has entered the chat.
Yeah, and Ben Morrison, if he had been healthy, would have been long gone by now. He's a first-round talent on tape. The plant, the drive, everything he does is very efficient. CD, you were talking about him earlier today, talking about how smooth he is. Yep. He can really find and locate the ball, make plays down the field. He's going to fit in perfectly with the style of defense they have in Tampa, the big-time burst. He's very smart and incredibly high character as well.
All right, Green Bay, make some noise. I have some special guests up here to help make the Green Bay Packers choice, so give it up for Packers legend Jordy Nelson.
What's up, Packer country?
One of K-State's finest.
Thanks, Commissioner. I also want to introduce Kenya and Marcellus from the Boys and Girls Club in Green Bay. We're recognizing incredible youth like them as part of our Inspire Change initiative. The NFL works with Boys and Girls Club nationwide to help young people find their voices, advocate for issues important to them, and become future leaders. Let's have these leaders help me announce the pick.
with the 54th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
the Green Bay Packers select
Anthony Belton, tackle, North Carolina State. Go Packers!
They're hunting for a tackle. It's interesting, they introduced him as a tackle. Yes. Some teams had him as an interior offensive lineman on their board.
Green Bay, he's got to compete right away, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's going to get a chance, I would think, at left tackle. They're in good shape with Zach Tom at right tackle, but 6'6", 336 pounds. He can create some movement in the run game, CD. I thought he was a little better in the run game than he was in the pass game. He does have anchor. To me, the issue was a little bit some of the speed that he would face. That was a little bit of the challenge, but again, you see him. It's a massive human being, and I'm curious again to see, does he get the opportunity to compete for that job right away?
I think he does get the opportunity to compete right away. Rasheed Walker holds down that spot right now, Joel. I think that it's going to be big-time competition, the left tackle position there. And with the way Green Bay wants to run it with Josh Jacobs, that plays into what Anthony Belton does best early as they try and get him comfortable. Look at him here pulling his Mike Allstott impersonation from days gone by, trying to get that power, that lower body power getting in place there. And by the way, his nickname, Escalade.
And another Wisconsin alum, Melvin Gordon, wearing some Brewers throwback gear.
Brew Crew. Is Gorman Thomas coming out next?
Nice.
What up, Wisconsin? Feel good to be back home, baby. Boat Nation, I see you over there. With the 55th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Trey Harris, wide receiver, Mississippi.
Well, they got a receiver who can win in man coverage, is an excellent route runner, and outstanding hands. Drops have been a little bit of an issue for this Chargers team. Now you get Trey Harris, who can win on the outside. He can get on top. You see his ability to separate right there, track the ball naturally. Big plays outside. Then if you want to put him inside, he's versatile to be able to do that, where his size and strength plays to his advantage. But look at him turn corners inside out. The route running is what got me most excited in this big physical body that he possesses. Josh Palmer's gone. Ladd McConkey, they have a superstar already. They give Justin Herbert a much-needed second weapon who can win in man coverage, CD.
And they just got another Harris to add to their offense. They drafted Omarion Hampton to go along with former Steeler Najee Harris. And there's Ladidi McConkey for Justin Herbert, and a celebratory moment in El Segundo, California.
And in case y'all aren't familiar with my game, let me remind you, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And I am here to tell you that with the 56th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the greatest franchise in the NFL, the Chicago Bears, select Ozzie Trapillo, tackle from Boston College. Let's burn it down and bear down, Chicago.
We are a long way from Bruno Sammartino.
Seth Rollins turned this place inside out.
Ozzie Trapillo, guys, huge. He's a day one starter. My comp was Big John Stud. Let's get to the video here as we see what he does. Rob Havenstein was someone he reminded me of who's a plug-and-play right tackle. He's a little bit tight-hipped, but someone who can lock out and control guys as a rusher. When he sees that rush, he's able to lock them out with his length and able to control them. The bend is not elite, CD, but someone who does stay off the ground. He has really good balance. It's hard to find guys that don't necessarily always bend well, that have balance. He's unique in that regard.
And he has played some left tackle at Boston College, so it's interesting him going to Chicago with Darnell Wright holding down the right tackle there already. Interesting to see what they decide to do with him.
It's now time to get the Lions' latest pick here in Green Bay.
We are honored to have with us the surviving family members of the United States Army Specialist Christopher Kuby, who will announce the selection of the Detroit Lions' second-round pick. As a proud soldier, Christopher deployed to Iraq, where he was tragically killed in an IED explosion in July 2007 at age 18. Specialist Kubi's service was marked by numerous awards and decorations, including the Bronze Star Medal and the Purple Heart. Christopher grew up in Michigan and was a lifelong fan of the Lions, passionately cheering his home team whenever he could. We honor him and thank his family and TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, which offers care to those grieving the loss of a military loved one. And now, I'm going to turn it over to John and David, who will announce in honor of their brother and son.
Let them give him a cheer, baby. Let's hear it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And here we go. The Denver Broncos have traded the 57th pick to the Detroit Lions. With the 57th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select
Tate Ratledge, guard from Georgia.
Yeah.
This is a very physical football player, and Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. Takes excellent angles. He can position you and played through injury. He had that tightrope ankle surgery that he played through, but at 6'6.5", 308 pounds, I was surprised a little bit how well he tested. He got healthy in the spring, and once that happened, you saw the athleticism that he had, which is going to get me to next-gen stats powered by AWS. When you look at his numbers and how that stacks up in this class, it was outstanding, and that helped recapture his momentum with a 98 score among all these interior offensive linemen. But guys, I got to tell you, the Detroit Lions, they play on Thanksgiving every year. You play well in that game, they give you a turkey leg. Tate Ratledge won't be receiving, he might be giving the turkey leg.
Oh my goodness.
My man can help supply the turkey for Thanksgiving every year in Detroit, so to me that's a value pick.
With the 58th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Jack Besh, wide receiver, Texas Christian. Just win, baby.
They got themselves a stud in Vegas. I mean, this dude is incredible. When you watch him and how competitive he is, and we'll get to the personal story here in a second. Well, I think, actually, Charles, we should actually probably lead with the personal story. You see the emotion that's coming through him. Go ahead, I'll give it to you.
Remember, he had his brother Tiger Besh, Princeton football player, terrific, all Ivy League player, gave his life saving someone on the New Year's Day attack in New Orleans, trying to get people out of the way of that car hurtling down, gave his life for others. And then Jack Besh played in the Senior Bowl a month later to the day and caught the game-winning touchdown pass with 7 seconds on the clock, which was his brother's jersey number, and Jack wore that number that day in the Senior Bowl in honor of his brother. He's an LSU transfer to TCU. DJ, you can talk about the football now, but the emotions that have to be flowing with his family as he continues to play and carry Tiger with him, it's going to be some story.
At the end of that Senior Bowl, as a family, they just hugged and sobbed on the field after he caught the game-winning catch. It is just an unbelievable, unbelievable story. And Jack Besh, as a player, Allen Robinson, think about how great he was in this league. That's who he reminded me of. Just physical. Everything he does is physical. You want to press him, he's going to chuck you at the line of scrimmage and get away from you. Look at the ability to just throw guys. Think about what Cooper Kupp does with his physicality. You see some of those similarities there with Jack Besh. And he'll tell you, he will not be tackled by the first guy. They might get me down, but he's going to have to bring a friend with him to do it.
Here's
that game
right
winner
there
at the Senior Bowl.
And how about
cap off a great
the
week.
combat catches, DJ? That was one of the things you pointed out with him.
You know, he'll work in the middle of the field. They are going to love him. Ashton Genty might be the toughest runner in this draft. He might be the toughest wide receiver in this draft. They got tougher in Vegas.
And one last thing. At one point, he was at LSU.
Yeah.
And on the roster with him at LSU was Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors. Who led them in catches that season? Jack Besh.
Good evening, guys. You may also know me as Wise Farmer Brown, when first at North Carolina, we have founded First Fruits Farm, where we have grown, harvested, and donated more than 2 million pounds of food to help with hunger relief and hunger throughout our nation. And so our motto is to never stop giving, never stop loving, and never stop growing, so that no child will go without food. My son JW and I, we have the honor and the privilege of presenting tonight's pick for the Baltimore Ravens. And with the 59th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens have selected
Mike Green, linebacker, Marshall.
Let's go Ravens, Flack!
Woo! This is my 3rd overall pass rusher and someone I had rated as my 21st overall player. He fell here not because of anything you see on the football field. He is talented, he is productive, he is a very gifted player. There was some off-the-field stuff that surfaced at Virginia, and that was something that I think led to this slide here. But this is a twitchy, explosive edge rusher who plays with tenacity, effort, and chase. This is the first tape you pop on against Ohio State, and this spin move, I mean, it jumped off the tape when you watch him. You watch him against my alma mater in App State, that was a painful one for me. And then he goes to the Senior Bowl, and he had the rep of the week, which we're going to see against Josh Connerly right there. Josh Connerly went in the first round, and he just went right through him, forklifted him, and put him on the ground. So the Ravens, Ian, got a tremendously talented football player who, if it was just about football, no chance he's there at this point in time.
That's exactly right, DJ. This was not about football, though. Mike Green actually announced himself to reporters at the Combine that he faced 2 sexual assault allegations in his past. One in high school that resulted in a zero-tolerance policy at Virginia. Another at Virginia that caused him to leave. He has denied both. My understanding, talking with teams, some of his explanation was not satisfactory for them. He was off several boards. That is why he fell, and Baltimore now takes him.
It's a blessing to be here. Broncos country, let me hear you. Wisconsin Badgers, baby. We got another one into the College Football Hall of Fame. We did it. Now, with that said, with the 60th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select R.J. Harvey, running back, UCF.
Okay, so the expected running back pick for Denver didn't come in the first round with Omarion Hampton on the board. It was Jahdae Barron, their first round selection. But here comes R.J. Harvey to Denver.
Well, this is a home game for CD, so I'm gonna pass to Mike and let him talk about a guy I know he loves.
Yeah, and here's what you're getting out of him. This is a guy who is not big in stature, but big in runs and production. And this is the other part you're going to get, which I think is really, Joel, what is going to lead Sean Payton to say, I like that guy. The ability to get out of the backfield, catch the football. In fact, his last year at UCF, Joel, added a little bit of weight to his frame, a little ballast to it. Never lost speed, continued to get better produced. Remember, he's a transfer from Virginia back to UCF.
Darren Sproles, anybody?
Yeah, exactly. And, highly productive, was a quarterback, went to Virginia, transferred to UCF. Only Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, and Taj Brooks had more yards in the last 2 years.
Gary Clark's on the stage here at the draft.
Your posture still looks good.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Are we going to get a little fun bunches?
What's up, Commanders fans? Commanders, where are you? Check this out. With the 61st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 3-time Super Bowl champions, 5 times world champions, Washington Commanders selects Trey Amos, defensive back, Mississippi.
Yeah, outside Shedeur, this is my highest rated player that was left. I'd love to give a little homework to Ian to see if there was some injury concerns, because I did not think he would be there at pick number 61 as a big corner with excellent length and speed. whose tape is consistent from game to game. The LSU game was the only one where you saw him maybe get run away from a little bit, but actually reminded me of a former LSU corner in Tre'Davious White. This dude can really find and play the football. He's aggressive at the catch point. That length shows up. There's a reason why you like corners, tackles, edge rushers with long arms, and he's the reason why you see it at the corner position. Again, watch him get his head around, find and locate the ball and swat it away. Just a very, very gifted player who, again, I did not anticipate would be here at this point in time, CD.
If he can lock down the spot opposite Marshawn Lattimore, they can kick Mikey Sainristil back in the nickel.
With the 62nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Shamar Turner, defensive tackle from Texas A&M.
Yeah, this is a twitchy, explosive three technique who can get up the field and has got some power. You'll see it with a little shake bull. Played through injury the entire season, found that out after the year. I think he actually found out at the combine when he got his physical there. But this is someone who's got a lot in his body. I think when he's healthy, you're going to see an even better player. But CD, my favorite part about this, and talking to the folks at A&M, I said, give me a nugget about him. And they said, well, his Uncle Buck is the team barber, so it's only right that he goes to the Chicago Bears. We got to get Uncle Buck back there in Chicago where he belongs.
Chiefs Kingdom, let me hear you.
With the 63rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle, Tennessee. Let's go, Chiefs!
Yeah, Omar Norman Lott, a little bit undersized. It wasn't even a full-time starter there, but when he got on the field, you noticed him because of the big-time burst and the effort to chase. Charles, some teams weren't totally comfortable with him with some character stuff, so again, a wildly graded player. Some, you would look at the ability, you get very excited about. Other teams had some concern.
Hello, Wisconsin! I'm honored to be here representing the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles tonight. Go Birds! With the 64th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles select Andrew Makuba, defensive back, Texas.
They value guys who can take it away, and he's got incredible production on the football. You watch him last year, 5 interceptions. He's got a little Johnny on the spot to him where the ball just always finds this dude when you're watching the tape. He's got outstanding hands. You think about CD, what they did last year. You watched that Super Bowl and you saw Cooper DeJean with the key interception, the touchdown that changed that entire game. They value guys who can go and get it.
Because the guys they have back there, Joel, I'm going to turn it over to you real quick. Sidney Brown, Reed Blankenship, and remember who just left? Gardner Johnson. Yeah. So Chauncey Gardner Johnson, who was taking the ball away.